I never imagined I'd become this man. When I met Rosemary, she was everything I wanted, gentle, graceful, full of quiet strength. She had been a widow for 6 long years, raising her daughter Sandra alone. I respected her resilience, her warmth, her ability to love again. When I proposed, it wasn't just to make her mine, it was to protect her and give Sandra a father figure. But somewhere along the way, things got twisted, broken, and I became the very storm I swore to shield her from. Hey everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. If you like our stories and similar infidelity stories, please do well to subscribe to our channel for more stories like this. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for stopping by, and do not forget to on your notifications button so as to get notifications and anytime we post our stories. Now let's dive into the gist. Sandra was a bright spark in the house. At 21, she had grown into a woman, confident, bold, and too beautiful for her own good. There was something magnetic about her. At first, I told myself it was fatherly admiration, maybe pride. But as Rosemary's long work hours pulled her farther from home and my bond with Sandra deepened, boundaries began to blur. We started spending too much time together, talking, laughing, exchanging glances that lingered too long. I should have known then that temptation was setting its trap. The turning point came when Rosemary traveled for her first vacation in Atlanta. She trusted me to hold the house together, to care for Sandra like a father should. Instead, I failed her. Alone with Sandra, the house felt different, too quiet, too intimate. One night, after dinner, we were watching a movie, and she leaned on my shoulder. I didn't pull away. I let my hand rest on hers. When she looked up at me with those wide, questioning eyes, I didn't say no. I kissed her, and she kissed me back. From that moment on, it was a fire we couldn't put out. We were reckless, foolish. We snuck around like teenagers, living in a fantasy. I told myself it would end when Rosemary returned. That it was just loneliness, a phase. But the truth? I wanted Sandra. Not just in secret, not just in shadows. I wanted her in a way no stepfather ever should. And that desire was the beginning of our downfall. Days turned into weeks, and what began as stolen kisses and quiet whispers soon became a routine we both couldn't resist. Sandra would wait until the house was still, and I would find her in the kitchen, pretending to look for a glass of water. Sometimes it was her scent that gave her away, or the look in her eyes, those eyes that said, "I'm here, and I want you." I tried to fight it. I really did. But the truth is, I craved her. It wasn't just about the physical. It was something deeper, darker, something I couldn't explain. Sandra was bold, even playful about it. She liked the power she had over me, the thrill of the forbidden. Sometimes she would wear clothes too tight or bend over too slowly, and I knew she was testing me. I failed every time. I betrayed Rosemary not once, but repeatedly. And somehow, I convinced myself I was still a good man. I told myself it wasn't hurting anyone, that no one knew. But secrets like ours always come with consequences. And we were playing with fire in a house soaked with gasoline. One afternoon, it all came crashing down. Rosemary had taken our youngest child, Mia, to her dance class, or so we thought. Sandra and I were in the living room. She sat on my lap, giggling softly while I kissed her neck. The front door creaked. We froze. There stood Mia, wide-eyed, confused, and terrified. She didn't say a word. She turned and ran. My heart dropped. Sandra whispered. I heard them talking in hushed tones. Then there was silence, deep, eerie silence. Moments later, Rosemary stormed into the living room, her face pale and trembling. Her eyes darted from me to Sandra, and without saying a word, she understood everything. That silence cut deeper than any scream ever could. And I knew then, our lives would never be the same again. Rosemary didn't scream. She didn't throw anything. She just stood there, her eyes hollow, like she was looking at ghosts instead of the people she loved. That was worse than any rage. Her silence hit me like a thunderclap. When she finally spoke, her voice was flat, no tears, no tremble. "Get out," she said. "Both of you." Sandra opened her mouth to speak, but Rosemary raised her hand, and for the first time, her daughter obeyed without a word. We left the house that night, no bags, no shoes, just shame. I thought Sandra would be angry, maybe heartbroken, but she wasn't. She seemed strangely calm, almost relieved. "We can be together now," she whispered as we sat in my car. But the fantasy had already shattered. What we had wasn't love. It was lust, deception, betrayal. And now, all I felt was guilt. I looked at her, this young woman I had hurt, corrupted, and I didn't see a partner. I saw the wreckage of a home I had burned down with my own hands. Rosemary never spoke to me again. She moved out with the kids, found a new place, started over. Word spread quickly. Neighbors stopped greeting me. Colleagues distanced themselves. My name became dirt, my face a warning. Even Sandra began to drift. She found someone her own age, enrolled in a university out of state. One day, she just left. No goodbye. No closure. I was alone. And I deserved it. Now I sit in this empty apartment, haunted by memories and echoes of what I destroyed. I had a family, a wife who trusted me, a daughter who needed guidance. I chose desire over decency, shadows over light. And for what? A few moments of pleasure that cost me everything. This is my confession, my curse, my punishment. I am Mr. Mark, the man who lost it all. Have you had an experience similar situation? Let me know how you handle it in the comments section. I do not forget you on the notification button so as to get notifications anytime we post our stories. Thank you. I'll see you next video.